Welcome my friends. In today's video, we're going to hear a heart-touching story of a woman whose perfect-looking family life broke apart piece by piece. But more importantly, through her story, you will learn real English, natural expressions, emotional phrases, and simple sentence structures you can use in real life. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and listen closely. Because this story isn't just about pain, it's about strength, survival, and finding yourself again. And who knows, it might just help you heal something inside you too. My name is Mia. I'm 31 years old. I've been married for over 13 years to a man named Richard, who is now 48. Yes, there's a big age gap between us. But love doesn't check calendars, right? We've built a life together. We have two lovely daughters. Our elder one is 12, and the little one is just 3. Richard works full-time while I stay home, managing everything: meals, laundry, bedtime stories, and baby cries. It's a simple life, but I was content, or at least I thought I was. Then, one ordinary evening turned my entire world upside down. I found out something no wife ever wants to know: Richard was seeing someone else. My heart stopped for a moment. I felt numb. This was the man I trusted with my whole life. I believed we were a team, a forever kind of love. I asked him directly, "Richard, is this true? Are you involved with someone else?" Instead of answering calmly, he got defensive. "You're overthinking," he snapped. "There's nothing going on." But I knew my instincts weren't lying. His late calls, his sudden need for privacy, it all made sense now. One night, when he was asleep, I checked his phone. And that's when the storm hit. He caught me, his face turned red with rage. "What gives you the right to touch my phone?" he yelled. I was scared, but I needed the truth. The next day, I went through the phone bill. That's when I saw it. A number he called nearly every day. My hands trembled as I dialed it. A woman picked up. She was calm, too calm. She was around my age, also married, and had a young daughter. When I asked her who she was, she replied coldly, "If my husband finds out, that's not my concern." Her voice had no guilt, no hesitation. I was shattered. I confronted Richard again, and this time I told him everything I knew. But instead of remorse, he flared up again. "I'll stop when I feel like it. You don't get to decide for me," he said. I cried. I couldn't believe this was happening again. He had cheated on me once before, just after our first daughter was born. And now, with a baby in my arms again, I was reliving the same pain. I'm currently on maternity leave, caring for our youngest. I'm not even in a position to go back to work yet. I need support, not betrayal. But here I am, trying to hold my home together while he's busy breaking it apart. Richard and I have a home loan. The apartment is under my name, but we both share the monthly payments. Soon, the support money for our youngest daughter will stop, and we'll need Richard's income even more to manage our household. He knows that, and maybe that's why he's started acting like he holds all the power. Sometimes, it feels like he thinks he's the king of this house. He even told me once, if I want another girlfriend, I can have one. Just like that, as if my feelings meant nothing. Even our older daughter tried to speak up. She looked him in the eye and said, "Dad, this isn't right. Please stop." But instead of listening, he shouted at her, said terrible things. It broke my heart. He's not just hurting me anymore, he's breaking all of us. The home that once echoed with laughter now feels cold and silent. It's like we're living with a stranger. Then one night, he didn't come home. He claimed he was working late, but I knew that was a lie. No message, no call. I sat awake the whole night, staring at the door, my mind full of questions. When he finally came home the next morning, he looked tired, but not like someone who'd been working. And still, he lashed out. "Stop asking me so many questions. I'm tired of this," he snapped. It felt like I wasn't his wife anymore, just someone annoying him. Another time, he said he wanted to go on a short trip. I said softly, "Can I come with you?" He shook his head coldly. "No, I want to go alone." That answer stung. Why would a husband want to travel without his family? Slowly, I started noticing more things. Our money was disappearing. I asked, "Richard, where's all the money going?" He brushed me off, like always. "Don't stress. I'm handling it." But I was stressed, so I checked the bank account, and what I saw nearly knocked the breath out of me. He had been spending money on expensive gifts and dining in fancy restaurants. The kind of spending that doesn't happen without someone special to impress. It all made sense. It was for her. Meanwhile, our household budget kept shrinking. We had bills to pay, kids to care for, a loan to manage, but all he cared about was his secret affair. The pressure began to crush me. I couldn't sleep, I lost my appetite, and I felt exhausted all the time. My body was giving up. When I finally went to the doctor, he looked at me with concern. "You need to rest. You're pushing yourself too hard." But how do I rest when my life feels like it's falling apart? My husband has a girlfriend, my kids need stability, our finances are crumbling, and I feel like I have no control left. Like I'm just trying to survive, one breath at a time. Our older daughter, Emily, has changed. Her bright smile, the one that used to light up our home, has slowly faded. She barely laughs now. She avoids her friends and keeps to herself. She doesn't say it out loud, but I know she feels ashamed of her father. She can't understand why the man she once looked up to is acting like this. And honestly, I don't know how to explain it to her. Our little one, Sophie, is too young to understand what's happening. She still laughs when she sees cartoons or claps her hands when music plays. But deep down, I worry about what kind of home she's growing up in. I wanted both of my girls to have a safe, happy family. Right now, that dream feels like it's slipping away. I spoke to my best friend about everything. After listening quietly, she said, "Maybe it's time to walk away from Richard." Her words hit me hard. I wish it were that simple. But I feel stuck, completely stuck. I don't have a job at the moment, and I don't know how I would raise 2 kids all on my own. No income, no backup. I need his support, whether I like it or not. Even my family tried to lift me up. "Be patient," they said. "Maybe Richard will come to his senses. Maybe he'll return to you." But I'm not so sure anymore. What if he never changes? What if he always chooses her over us? These thoughts keep me up at night. I feel helpless, tired, empty, and yet, I still love him. That's the most painful part. Despite everything, some part of me still wants him to come back. To choose us. To remember the life we built. One evening, I was cooking dinner like usual. I wanted to believe that maybe things could get better. Maybe today would be different. But he was late again. Lately, he was always late. When he finally walked through the door, he looked serious. No smile, no warmth. He sat at the table and stared at me for a long moment before saying, "We need to talk." My hands started trembling. "What is it?" I asked, quietly. He looked straight at me and said the words I had feared the most. "I don't love you anymore." It felt like someone had pulled the ground from under me. A part of me already knew it, but hearing him say it, so coldly, so clearly, shattered whatever was left of my hope. Still, I asked, "So, what now?" My voice barely held together. "I'm leaving," he said. And just like that, my whole world collapsed. He began packing. I sat there on the sofa, frozen, my face soaked in silent tears I didn't bother to wipe. I watched as he collected his clothes, his books, his favorite watch. My heart was screaming, but I said nothing. I wanted to beg him to stay, but the words refused to come out. Before walking out the door, he leaned down and hugged our daughters. He kissed their foreheads and whispered, "I'm really sorry." Our daughters couldn't stop crying. They ran to their dad, begging him not to go. "Please don't leave us," they cried. But he didn't say a word. He just gave a tired sigh, opened the door, and walked out. I sat there frozen. The sound of his car fading into the distance was the only thing I could hear. Then, silence. A heavy, painful silence. And in that silence, I broke. Tears poured out of me like a storm. I cried until my chest ached and my body felt weak. I sat there in the dark, alone, with nothing but memories around me. The next morning, I reached for his side of the bed. It was cold, empty. That's when it hit me again. He wasn't coming back. Days passed like shadows. I stopped eating, barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw his face. I kept pretending to be okay for the kids. I smiled at them, told them silly stories, laughed at their jokes. But inside, I was shattered. Sometimes, I'd pick up my phone, my fingers trembling, ready to message him. But I always stopped. I knew he wasn't mine anymore, he was hers now. One afternoon, I was walking past a small coffee shop near the park. And there he was. Richard, sitting across a woman. She was stunning. He was smiling, the kind of smile I hadn't seen in years. My heart raced. My knees felt weak. I wanted to scream, to run, to cry. But I did none of that. I just stood there, frozen. Then he looked up, and our eyes met for a brief moment. I turned away, quickly, walked home with tears building up again. As soon as I got home, I locked the door behind me. I slid down to the floor, covered my face, and finally let it all out. He was gone, truly gone, and I had to move forward. The next morning, I did something I thought I couldn't. I took off my wedding ring. I made breakfast for Emily and Sophie. I sat by the window with a hot cup of coffee in my hands, watching the morning sun. Yes, it still hurt. It would hurt for a long time. But I made a silent promise to myself. I wouldn't let this pain control me. One day, I will smile and mean it. One day, I will wake up and not think about Richard. One day, maybe, I'll fall in love again. But today? Today, I will survive. Because life doesn't end with heartbreak. Sometimes, a painful ending is just the beginning of something new. No matter how hard things seem, time carries healing in its hands. Life hits you hard. It breaks your heart, steals your sleep, and leaves you wondering, why me? But every broken piece of pain carries a secret message. You're stronger than you think. Today you didn't just hear a story, you felt it. And while you listened, you also improved your English, phrase by phrase, emotion by emotion. If this video helped you understand both English and emotions more deeply, please like, share, and comment, "I'm stronger now," below. Because one day, you too will wake up. Not to heartbreak, but to healing. And we'll be right here, helping you grow. One story, one lesson, and one English word at a time.